All right, I'd like to welcome you to Working with Portraits webinar designed to support the school annual yearbook program. Our goal this afternoon will be to focus on the functions of the program associated with student portraits. Specifically, we will be reviewing printing class sheets for other teachers and parents to review, to correct, uh, strategies for detecting duplicate images, correcting student names, categorizing students, and using the flow function to create portrait pages. This webinar will be approximately 20-30 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started here. So first off, let's talk about printing class sheets. These class sheets can be used for your assistants to go around, and you and your assistants to go around and ask teachers to make sure that the kids are in the correct class, the correct name spelled, the correct images being used, and things like that. So let's go ahead and let's go to our image library. Click on Create and then Image Library. So right here we have our portraits. So we're going to click on our first class right here, and we're just going to do this one. So to print out a class sheet, we're just going to click on a folder. And then we're going to click on this little button right here that says PDF Preview. So as soon as we click on that, we're going to get this little preview right here. And what we can do with that is, just a minute here. Okay, so with this, what we can do is have the teacher go in and say, hey, you got the wrong ones right here, or hey, take that is a like maybe you got the wrong name right here. This student isn't a fifth grader. This student's a third grader, or this student belongs into this teacher or whatever. So you can kind of do that. All right. Then once you're over here, sorry. Then once you get that, while you're waiting for that to get back and all that, we'll talk about editing class list and editing names and some further stuff here. So, one of the ways you can edit your class list or edit some of these things, you can go to your coverage report. So you can click on Create and then Coverage Report right here. And then here in your coverage report, this will list all the names of the students, staff, anyone who's been tagged. Um, all that stuff will be right here. Here you can click on like the last name and it will list everybody in alphabetical order according to last name. I'll have their first name, grade right here, so you can list everyone by grade. Homeroom, um, you, so this way you can look at everyone by their homeroom. Right here is probably some of the most important one. Some of the schools um, may have a policy that every student has to appear in the book once outside their um, actual portrait. So right here you can do how many times in the book. So this will tell you how many times they're in the book. That's if the picture is tagged. And then used on page right here, you can actually see what page they're used on. Sometimes you can actually click on this blue box right here and actually see the page that they're on. So to fix a name right here, we're going to take a look at this second one right here. We're going to say a parent wants, instead of their kid's nickname, Jay, they just want their full name or their first legal name is Jason. So we're going to change it right there. This will change it in real time. So if we see Abney Jason right here is in Drake, so we come back to our image library, go down to Drake, and then we can see right here the name has been fixed. So if we come back here and we change it back to J, and then come back over, oh, I bet it didn't take. Oh, not that one. I want this one. Here we go. Oh, that's because I did his other, not his other one. There we go. This is just a this one right here is a duplicate. That's what I did. So we come back over, here you go, right there. So there you can see that it's changed in real time. The reason for the one advantage for the coverage report is you can change it here like real quick, and go through it instead of having to go folder by folder by folder searching for the student or whatever. You could do it there. You can also change the names here. So we'll go back to the image library, and we're going to talk about some how to change names, how to tag, how to add no photos, and some other things here real quick. So if you have a student um, that missed taking their picture or having their picture taken, either the main one or the makeup day one and stuff like that, we do have no photos you can use. Or if they're from another school, they just don't have their image. We do have no photos. So you come over here to art, and then by type, and then borders and lines. Then once here, just scroll down a little. And then here we have no photos right here. So all you have to do is just find the one you want right here, come up to actions, then click on download. And then all you have to do is just save it to like your pictures or save it to wherever you need to save it to right there. And then we're going to talk about how to upload that photo. So we're going to come back to our class right here. And we're going to click on the upload button here, this blue button in the upper right hand corner. This little pop-up will will appear, and it'll have upload images that you can drag and drop into this dotted line right here, or you could just click on choose images, go to your pictures, find the image that you want to use, and click on open, and it will start the upload process for you. And here's the image right here. Now, to tag this image or to tag any other portraits, if you got a portrait from the student or whatever and you uploaded them, all that. So to tag this image right here, we're going to click on image details, and then we're going to go to over here to the right where it says no photo available. We're just going to click on this image. It's going to bring up a red box, and then you're going to see this box appear right here. So we can leave it, come back again, click on the image, and this box appears right here. We're going to click on that box, and then right here we're going to click on create new person. So just click on this teal writing. I'm just going to give this person a name. Now, one new feature for this year, you have to assign it a grade. So you have to assign the student any grade. If you don't know their grade, just any grade will work. Or you could go other. If it's a faculty member, you can go faculty. If it's an organization, you can click on organization. But it just has to have a grade. So we're going to click on just first grade, just a grade. And then click on save. And then this person is now tagged. We're going to click on done. Now you may not see the immediate um, name change right here, but as long as you see this teal plus sign right here in the corner, it's tagged. If you want to see the name, just come up here, refresh your screen, and then you will see that it's tagged right here and in alphabetical order. The image library does display everything in alphabetical order according to last name. So here is a teacher right here. It will put them in alphabetical order. Assistants, anything, it just puts it in alphabetical order. So it always in alphabetical order. All right. So let's talk about how to clean this up. So we got our list back and we were told to, a few different things. First, we were told a student is in the wrong class. So here we have this uh, person right here named Kelly, wrong class. So we're going to click and hold. We're going to drag the student over to their correct class. Then when you see this pop up right here, or you see that dark gray background behind, like in this case, Kelly PM, that lets you know that you're okay to drop the image. Just let go. You'll get the pop-up saying, do you want to move this image to this category? Click on move, and the image is moved. Again, just find the student that's not supposed to be in there or supposed to be moved. Click and hold, drag it to the file, let go, and then click on move. Now here we have two students right here. Same image, same name, it's just a duplicate image. Or it may be one's the main one, one's the retake. So just find out which one's the retake or which one is the nice one. Or you could just pick which one is the better looking picture or the more appropriate picture to be used in the yearbook. So all you have to do is to mark one do not use, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to mark it do not use because this will tell the system when we go to flow the images, flow all these, but ignore this one. Do not use this one. So to do that, we can click on this little button right up here or double click on the image. We're going to go to details, come down here to preferences, and then here we have use portrait. Currently it says you use the portrait. So we're going to click on this little down arrow or this little drop down menu right here, and we're going to select do not use portrait. Then we're going to click on done. Then here the image is slightly faded and it has this red do not use. That will tell us that the system is not going to use that image. Now there is another option if you have a student for whatever reason cannot be in the yearbook, or their image can't be used in the yearbook for whatever reason it may be. You can click on this, click on details, then in preferences, so the reason why we wouldn't delete the photo is, so let's say this one is the main one and this one is the makeup. So the parent says, well, I want to use the makeup one. So if you delete this image, then you don't have this image. Um, but on my end, I can return it. But just in case you need to use it later, or the parent comes by and says, I don't want to use that image, and this other image, at least you have it. So if this student can't be used in the book, but so what this will do is uh, here we'll come to details, go to preferences, use on portrait. We're going to click on use no photo. What this will do is it will use a default no photo, but it will also include his name in the book. So the image won't be there, but a spot where that student would have been will be there with no photo available, and the name will be there. So we're going to click on done, and we'll leave it like this because when I go to show you how to flow, you'll be able to see the image or the no photo right there too. All right, so once we're done with all of this, I'll make sure we have a no tag. Okay, so now let's get to the fun part and let's talk about flowing photos. We're going to go to Plan and Page Ladder, or you can go to Create and Page Designer. Page Designer will always take you to the last page you were last editing. In this case, we're going to go to Plan and then Page Ladder because I'm not sure which page I was on when I was last editing. All right, so let's go to two blank pages right here. And we're going to click on Flow here on the right. And we'll be working out of this tab for the rest of the webinar right here. So we're going to talk about these 6 flow elements right here at the very top of the page first. But to go down here and kind of show you all what we have category, name format. This is just how you want the names displayed. First name, last name, or do you want the first, middle, last, or last name, first name? Just how you want all the names displayed. This images is how many images are in the folder, how many are flown, and how many are remaining. Start and stop is always the page start and the page stop, and we'll explain more here in a minute. So first, let's talk about these flow elements right here. Let's get a more traditional one and kind of explain the differences between them. The more traditional one with the names to the side, and then you have all these images right here. And we'll get to one of the more popular ones with the names underneath it. Now, immediately you're going to see that obviously there's 2 different kinds here, 2 different sizes, 2 different, um, uh, there's going to be 2 different ways of getting these set up to meet the number of images you need. So the first one right here obviously has more images than we really need. I mean, we only need at least 18 slots. This one over here on the right actually are bigger than what we really need and not as many. So to fix this, we're going to click on these flow elements. We'll click on this very first one. And as we do that, there's a toolbar right here at the very top. If we click off of it, toolbar goes away. Click on them, toolbar comes back. So let's explain the toolbar here real quick. So the first one's your font. The AYT Pladio is the default for all these, but you can change them if you want to change them. 8 is the default size for the text, but be careful about adjusting the text. If you go too far, you get this red X. Just basically means that the names or the words there's more words than the text box can display. That's all that means. That red X right there is you have more typed than can be displayed on the page. So in that case, we're just going to back these down a little bit. And if you're wondering, yes, you can click on the inside here instead of a 10. We can actually push the number 9 and enter, and it will change that to a 9 font. By default, they're all just evens. Right here, this black square is a color. So we can actually change the coloring on those if we want to. The reason why we would want to change the coloring on these is if we go to change the background. Now, if we go to flow, you're not going to see the names on this. Even if I went and chose a background, let's say, I mean, you might see them right here, but they might be a little hard to read. So the reason why you would change the coloring is to something to stand out um, against that background. So that's one thing that you may want to check before you flow, because once you flow, you can't change the names. You'll have to take everything out before you can make any adjustments to your flow element here. The next is the stroke style. So here we can add a border around all of these. As soon as you add a border, you'll see a number 1 right here. That just means that the default is at least a 1 on the border. For portraits, we suggested probably about a 3, 4. It's probably your happy medium right there. Most fonts, you can adjust the bold. You can add an italic, an underline, if you want right here. Text transform, you can make all of them lowercase, all of them uppercase. Right. And then one right here is what we want, and we're probably going to spend a little bit of time here, is your flow options. These 9 little dots with a down arrow. These flow options will change the way this flow element works on the page. So we're going to click on that. To take a look at everything, what we're going to do is this little thumbnail, this little thumbtack right here. If you click on that, it will actually separate it so we can move that to the side. Now I can take a look at the whole entire page. The first thing I want you to do when you start working on this is uncheck automatic. If automatic is checked, what is going to happen is as I change the number of rows or columns, it's going to want to stay in this dotted line, the shape of this dotted line right here. So as you see, as I'm lowering them, it's the dotted line is staying the same shape. It's just adjusting how tall these are. So what we want to do is to uncheck automatic, and now when I reduce the number, it brings that dotted yellow line all the way up. Now, why is this important? Is this so that I can actually move this to where I want it to? Before with it automatic checked, I can't move it. It's just going to snap back to where it was. So you can adjust the number of rows. So we need 18, so we at least need 20 spots right here. So there we go. We got our 4 and 5. Now these boxes are a little small, so we can adjust the height and width right here. So we can adjust the width a little bit, adjust the height a little bit more, and you can click in. So that's 9p 3. So you can change that to a 5 and push enter. So if you want to do like little micro movements, you can do stuff like that. Or if you want to do 6. So there we go. We got it the way we want. And then right here, we have the horizontal and vertical spacing. That is the spacing between the bottom of this row right here and the top of this row. So we can adjust um, the spacing right here. If I would to adjust that, then I can adjust the spacing right here as well. Right here, the name width, I can actually adjust the name width. So if you notice you have somebody with a really long name, you can adjust the width of this right here. It just makes it so that the longer names can fit without dropping to another line right here. Portrait shapes, you can change it from a rectangle to a square, pentagon, hexagon, trapezoid, whatever you want to change it to. Rectangle is the only one you can add a little bit of a rounded edge to it. Rounded edge, I would say 10 to 12 is comfortable. I've always find that a rounded edge is a little more appealing. It just beats the square shape on a page. I think just adding a little bit of around a corner kind of breaks up the shape a little bit, kind of looks a little nicer. Now, name options right here. If you're using this one on the left and then on the right, there is one thing I want you to do, and that is to come to name options. And then right here where it says align names to the portrait image, what that will do is these names right here, if there's no images in the first or second one, this name right here will move all the way over to this third image and sit right here where this second image is. So it won't be in line with the other 3 right here. So click on no, and now these names will all stay put in one straight line. All right, so now we got all that set up and ready to go. Let's talk about this other one over here on this other page. So the only difference between this one and this one is just how you set things up. So we're going to go to our flow options right here, uncheck automatic. Now take a look right here with rows and columns and height and width. With the one on the page on the left, the rows and columns had more numbers than the width and height. Here it's in reverse. So here we would have to adjust the width and the height in order to add an additional row or an additional column. Here we have the vertical spacing. I always like to bring this down just a little bit, probably to a 2. I think 3 is just a little too much spacing. And I could drop this down here just a little bit. All right, so once we have everything set up the way we want, we can click on our category right here. We can just click on whatever class we want. Name format, we just can leave that alone. Here we have 18 images, 0 images flowed, 18 images remaining. We're going to start on page, here we're at 16, so we're going to make sure it says start on page 16, and then we're going to stop on page 16. Now here we got this little red pop-up right here that says unavailable, 0 available positions. This just means that the program doesn't know we made changes to the page. So we have to save our work first. So we can hit the save button right here, or we can come up to file and save. Once we save our pages, then the system knows we made changes to the pages and will update itself accordingly. So here the red square has gone away and it says 20 available pages. So now we know that we have enough slots right here to accommodate all these images right here. So once we're ready, we can come down to this flow button right here, and we can go ahead and click it. Once we click flow, the images move over. Right here, you will see it says no photo available. That was the one student that couldn't show have their face shown. So this is just the default no photo available, but their name is right here in the list. And then here's our no photo right here. And uh, and the student's name is right here on the list as well. Now, one thing I've noticed immediately is we have the teacher right here. A lot of schools like to put the teacher first. So we need to fix that here real quick. And I'm going to show you a little cheat to fix it. So we're going to come over here to the image of the teacher right here, and off to the right, this little circle with the letter I. We can actually click on that if it will let me. There we go. So we can click on that and we'll bring up the image details screen, the same screen that we saw in the image library. We're going to come over here to details and then come down here to preferences. And then I see the problem right here. So the problem is portrait type is listed as student. Obviously it's not a student, it's a teacher. So we're going to change the portrait type to a student, well, from a student to a teacher. And this right here is a hierarchy system within our flow element. So teacher will always flow first, followed by assistant, followed by student, and then other. So we're going to change it to a teacher, and then we're going to click on done. All right. Now you will notice that the teacher hasn't moved, or the image here on the right hasn't moved, and the image in the flow element hasn't moved at all. This is because we have to reset. Now you see the teacher is at the top, and then we're going to reflow. Now the teacher is the first one there. So that's one thing to check when you do flow. If something like the teacher is like down here or something like that, please check to see if what they're listed as, and then you can always change it. If you need to change it so that, like, in the staff, it gets a little tricky. Like if you're flowing your staff portraits, that's where it can get a little tricky because it flows in alphabetical order according to their type. So if you want your principals or your vice principal to flow first, you can list them as teacher. But depending on how they're listed in alphabetical order, you got to be careful there because they will list them in alphabetical order under teacher, then alphabetical order under assistant, and then alphabetical order in student. So that's one thing that you may have to get a little bit creative and a little, and how you label things or what you do there. And then And you can float onto multiple pages. Your start just says what page you want to start on. Your stop just says what page you want to stop on. We have some that will flow their whole entire grade on multiple pages. So they may start on 17, they may stop on like 21. So you can flow to multiple pages. And if for any reason you don't want to use our flow elements right here and adjust everything yourself, we're going to take these out. So right here under designs, and then we're going to go over to portrait. Right here we have different portrait pages, all pre-laid out and ready for you to go through. I do suggest that when you go through them, if you know one class has at least 31 students or something like that, or 25 students, plan your pages according to your largest class. That will save you a lot of headaches. So if one class has 25, but all the other classes are under 20, we're going to come over here and click on 21 to 30 because we're going to plan according to our largest class. And then you can always go through, find out which template you want to use. Click and hold, drag it over here. And so there you go. You already have, so we come back over to flow, we save. All right, so we have 30 available positions right here. So we know we have more than enough images or enough spots for these images. So we know we're good to go on these. All right, let me make sure I have everything covered here. So one thing after you're done flowing, one habit we would like you to get into is once you're done, come over here to where the zoom is, and you can zoom in a little bit. Take a look at everything. Take a look at the names. Make sure the names are spelled correctly, and then look for any duplicates. Like here we have two duplicate students right here. Um, but one thing to double check if you have duplicate students, make sure they're not twins. So definitely look at them and then look at the names and go, oh, okay, wait a minute, those are twins. But definitely make sure that you don't have like duplicate images. Make sure the names match the students. Make sure the names are spelled correctly. It's just something, just do it now. In that way, you know everything is fine because it's something we harp on in another webinar when we talk about finalizing your pages and taking a look at everything and proofing everything. So it's just a good habit to do it now, then try to remember it later. Oh, here we go. Go back to normal. All right. So quickly here, I'm going to read this little outro and then I'll open it up to any questions that you may have or something you may want to see again. So here we go. I want to thank you all today for joining us this afternoon. The demonstrations of the functions related to the creation of the portrait pages should eliminate some of the trial and errors that can occur when working on your yearbook. Printing portrait sheets and editing class data ahead of time should result in better accuracy on some of the most important pages of a yearbook. Please feel free to join us next time as we look at creating activity and candid pages. I want to thank you all for joining. And if you, at this time, if you have any questions, um, feel free to ask. You can type them or you can take yourself off of mute and go ahead and ask away. All right, thank you very much. All right. If there are no other questions, we'll go ahead and end it here. If you think of anything later, feel free to call or feel free to email me at support@schoolannual.com. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Video of this will be sent, like I said, later on, uh, probably either tomorrow morning or sometime later on in the week.